a huge bass.
It's time to shock L&M Lake and see what's here. Last time we shocked, it's kind of depressing. However, this time when they shock it, Steven's supposed to be here around 9 o'clock. So it's about 7:45 right now. I thought I'd come down here and do a little fishing because yesterday evening, Laura and I came down here, and what happened? Oh my gosh. I caught 8 in a row right over there in that little slough. I'm going to go over there. I brought my pole and a couple of worms. We're going to go over there and see if they're hitting like they were. I caught 12 bass, and Laura caught a bass and a 2-pound, 2-ounce crappie, and I caught them between 3 and 5 pounds. It's like it was when Laura and I bought this place in 2018. Almost every single cast right over here. Brad and I used to come down here all the time and fish right off this little point over here. Throw a worm out there and shabam, shabam every time. I texted Brad yesterday and told him about it. He had a baseball tournament. My grandson Josh, I think they got runner-up out of 14 teams. So way to go, Josh. Good job. Brad's coaching that team, and he probably won't be down because he's pretty wore out. He's pretty wore out. I'm so excited. God has blessed Laura and I incredibly, and it's just hard to believe. And I hope when Steven shocks this place, we'll see what kind of bass are in here that are still here, that I knew that our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ kept in here, okay? I know he did. He blessed us with that, so hopefully when Steven gets here, we put the boat out there. We're going to video it.
It's slow.
Ready?
Yes, sir.
Oh! Oh!
Yeah, Mike, I'm Steven Bardin, owner of Texas Pro Lake Management, fisheries biologist. I also own a company called Black Bass Stewardship Group. Today we are on your lake. We're going to do an electrofishing survey to see how the lake is recovering after the fish kill.
All right. His assistant is Tommy.
Tommy Johnson.
Tommy Johnson. All right.
So Tommy's going to take a measurement of conductivity, which is the salt and minerals that are dissolved in the water.
Okay.
Pure water, fresh water, doesn't have any salts and minerals, so when you put electricity in there, it does nothing. There has to be something, conductivity in the water, to make the electricity move. So we'll measure what it is, and that'll tell us how much electricity to use, because we want to match the internal amperage, basically, of the fish. Up front with Tommy.
Okay.
Getting right in the action.
Okay.
Go ahead and net every fish you see. Tommy will help me figure out if you've got gizzards on them or put them in the basket.
Okay.
The big ones. The little ones, you don't have to know.
Okay.
But I want all the sunfish, all the bass, all the trout.
Okay. Oh, that was a huge bass.
I'm glad I was able to lift her up.
How about that one?
That's pretty good fish.
Oh boy, I knew I had a double digit still in there. She okay? You get it? That was a shad, wasn't it? There's another one. Got a hole in it. It slipped right through it. I didn't see that hole in the net. Oh, we're on another one. Oh my goodness. Still a ton up in there. Couple little shiners in there. Yeah, that's fine. That's crazy. There's always fish here. Dang it. crap. This spot right here, the very first time they shocked this place, they shocked up over 30 bass over 6 pounds. Just right there. Yeah, the very first time I shocked this lake, that bed right there we just pulled a couple out of, they pulled 30 bass over 6 pounds and over out of that, just right there. That's awesome. And one guy was dipping it.
I'm sure his arms were tired after that.
Oh yeah. That big tree right there, I always catch a good fish right there. There's always a big bass in there for some reason.
What's your favorite thing to throw at the tree when you're trying
Oh,
to
black and blue, jig, or one right there.
Hey Mike, have you had chili cat in here in the past?
Yes.
Okay, is that something cool?
No. I mean, what we do is the grandkids and stuff love to go fish for catfish.
Okay.
So what we do is we catch 10 or 15. They'll be anywhere between 3 pounds and
Right.
18 pounds.
I mean, do they always have spots?
Yeah.
Spots are
Well,
young.
except when they get bigger.
So 1 year or younger, they'll have
good.
spots. So that tells us that fish was born within the year.
Okay. Yeah. Most of them do not. Most of them are in that probably 7 to 12 pound range. And we take them all out. We take all those out. We take all the crappie out.
45 minutes now.
Well, you definitely had to get a picture with the big one.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, you guys holding it, not me.
You gotta do it.
I'll hold it when it's on the end of the line. I don't know. Garrett, do y'all know Garrett Lee?
Yeah.
Well, Garrett was like the first guy that I used.
Yeah, from Punky.
Yeah. And then he came down twice, and then I guess, I can't remember the young man, Austin, or
Right.
came down the third time. But I think 12.4 is the biggest one they shocked up.
I didn't know if I was going to get that big one up the first time. She started going down.
I couldn't hold on. Well, to me, that's the most important thing I want to find out is the genetics of
I totally agree with you.
what's in here.
'Cause it's going to, I mean, it's going to determine if we have a long-term future or not.
Or starting over.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're not starting over.
No.
It's just how do you manage the population?
Okay, guys, I'm pretty excited about what just happened. At least I'm seeing fish in here. Tommy and Steven are going to do some genetic stuff right now. So, I mean, that first one we got in, I can't believe Tommy got it in. I think it's going to be close to double digit. It's a big one. But hopefully it's got good genetics too, and all the other ones. So that's the most important thing we're looking at right now. We want to make sure that we keep that genetic strain going, that F1, that Tiger, that Florida hybrid strain in this lake, so we can continue to get 10, 12, 14 pound bass in the next, 3 to 4 years. So what we're going to do is I'm going to film them a little bit. They're going to taking some scales off the fish. They're going to be weighing them, and you're going to get some pictures of a couple of big ones that we took out, so stay tuned.
All right, brother. So here's how it's gonna work. There's probably a length and a weight on every fish.
Okay.
We'll take a fin clip from one of their pelvic fins. They don't use their pelvic fins for anything. So we'll clip it off, we'll put it in a vial, and we'll give it a number. We're gonna ship those to the American Aquaculture Lab in California.
Okay.
And what they're gonna look for, Mike, is how much northern largemouth bass, southern largemouth bass, and Florida bass is in each fish. If it is a pure Florida, then we can look at how many trophy markers are in that genetic code.
Okay.
Trophy markers predict if that fish is given enough time and resources that it's going to grow to be a double-digit fish or more. So that's in a 1 to 0 scale. Of course, we want them as high as possible.
Right.
If it's not a pure Florida, then we can't really use that scale because nobody's identified trophy markers for the largemouth side.
Okay.
The other thing it's going to tell us is relatability of the population. So we have different size classes of fish. We're going to know if those fish are siblings, cousins, mother, daughter. We're going to know what they are.
Okay.
So
Great.
then we'll know how small is the population of adults versus how big is the population of juveniles. You're going to see throughout this survey, we caught a lot of big fish,
Yeah.
not a lot of small fish.
Yeah.
So that tells us a good story.
Okay. Great.
I mean,
So compared to last year when you shocked it in September, how do we look?
well, the larger fish, we had a small number of them, right? So they've rebounded in the fact that they're growing well. They've got a lot of weight. We'll see exactly how good they are because we're going to look at relative weight.
Okay.
We knew that we had a small population of fish. And as
Right.
we electrofish today, you probably felt it. There was big areas of Sahara Desert, we're not catching anything. Then we'd hit a good area where resources and habitat came together and the bass would be stacked in there.
Right.
One of the areas around the dock, one of them at the end of the
Right.
dam, that's where we could predict that we were going to catch fish.
Well, all the places that actually I've been catching fish for the last 2 months are those spots.
Right, and,
So,
and the areas between there, nothing.
yeah, and used to, I mean, you'd go out in the middle and throw a moving bait and catch
Right.
10 or 15 bass in an hour and have at least 2 8-pounders. Yeah.
Yeah, there's just not if we said number of fish per acre, it's pretty low.
Okay.
And there's some indicators outside of the bass population that is true. And we'll show you those as we're going through the survey.
All right, great. Wow. Is that the big one? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. She's gonna be close to 9. Might even go 10.
24.5 inch. Now, Mike, every fish has a weight based on its length that should be predicted. So a
Right.
24.5 inch fish should weigh 9.11. And what we're hoping, of course, is this fish is above 9.11 because that means it's above 100%. And this fish is going to weigh 10.62. I mean, hold on to that fish. Do not let it go.
10.62. So now
So
we know we have a good one.
It's 116%. So what that means to us, Mike, is this fish survived the fish kill. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take off part of that pelvic fin. We'll put it in a vial, and she'll be number 1.
Will that grow back or no?
It will. Yes, sir.
Okay. 10.62. All right.
And we have her genetics, so we'll know exactly, by numbering this, we'll know exactly what her genetics are.
Okay.
Now,
Great.
she should be a big female that's producing a lot of offspring. So if the offspring match her, mother, daughters, we know what's happening.
Then we have a trophy bass that's
Potentially.
Yeah, potentially, yes.
If the offspring do not match her, then we have a question of why are her offspring not doing well? Mike, I'm going to give her a little lip ring for you.
Okay.
So from now on, you'll know when you catch this fish. And she is number 801.
Hold her up. Hold her up, Tommy. That's okay. I'll take a couple of it. Don't matter.
All right, so that's 801 from now on.
801.
Let her go. goal.
I think she's lively.
She's ready to go. And I've got that in our charts. We'll have her genetics, her number. In the future, you're going to catch one with a lip ring. That's the only one we're going to ring today.
Oh.
And you're going to know that's my 801.
So I have a bounty fish now.
Yes. We might ring this one too, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, she's going to be close to 7.5, 8 pounds.
Looking fish.
Oop. 21.25.
All right, Mike, 21.25 should weigh 5.72.
Oh yeah, I think she's well over that.
We'll call her 7.99. It
Ooh.
wanted to go 8, Mike.
Almost 8. Almost 8. Hang on. I got to get another picture, Tommy.
So, Mike, that's a 139. 139% of what it should weigh.
So on the genetic scale, that's pretty good, right?
Well, no, that's on the body condition score.
Okay.
So the body condition score relates this fish age and how quickly it's catching food to tell us if it's thriving in this population or not.
Now, would you say that these fish are growing a little faster because she doesn't have competition? And
That's exactly right.
yeah.
Yeah, abundant forage, no competition.
Can you age? You can age that fish too by the scale, right?
You can age the scale,
Oh, okay.
not the fish. So the scales can be replaced throughout their life. So you would have to take a number of scales to eventually say, this is how old this fish is.
Okay.
The only way to truly age a fish is to pull a bone from behind its brain, called an otolith. It's actually an inner ear bone. Of course, that means that we no longer have that fish in the
Right.
population. So what we would rather do is whenever we harvest fish that we're naturally going to pull out, we take their ages and figure out how long does it take to get to that size class, and then use that to work backwards as to those big fish.
Okay.
Now, Mike, in all private lakes, you get to a point where you have to harvest fish. You are not at that point. But for your audience, as we release fish today, this is not what you should be doing. The reason we're doing that is because you're rebounding from a fish kill.
Right.
Now, when we get the genetics back on these fish, we may make the decision that we need to harvest fish,
Okay.
but we're not there yet.
Well, because for the past 5 years, we've been harvesting 600 fish a year.
Yes, you're gonna
14 to 17 inches, and we were taking all 600 out.
correct, and we're gonna have to do that in the future.
Yeah.
But we have to build a population of fish
Right.
first. Now we get a bad genetic result that we don't like, and we need to stock additional Florida bass or something to create what we want, and we may harvest some fish. Or if we see any of these fish today that are less than 100%, we'll pull them out too, because they're not working in this system right
Right.
now. This one's 16.25 in length. It weighs 2.32. Now this fish should weigh 2.38, so it is a 97.58. Unfortunately, that would be a fish that you do want to harvest.
Okay.
So that's the case.
So even today, Steven, we're going to take out,
If they're under 100,
if they're less than 100, we need to take them out.
whenever we have fish in the system that are 132% what they should be.
Yeah.
So we know that even with limited resources, some fish are able to thrive in this environment. We want to promote that genetic for the time being. This one's 16 and a half. It weighs 2.39, so this one's also going to be underweight. It should weigh 2.5, so it's a 95%.
Okay.
That's good stewardship, Mike. You have to do that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm
And then
not worried about this year. I'm worried about 2 years from now, 3
I'm
years
worried
from
about
now.
10 years from now.
Okay. Well, all right, guys. I got all these coal fish, big old basket, bucket, and I thought I'd bring them down here. How many are in there? Let's take a look. I'm not going to count them. We're just going to pour them. Pour them all out. Shad, carp, coal bass, They're ugly. Couple of shiners in there, but that's all right. Big old gizzard shad. There's a perch. That's all right. There's a perch. There's all right. Big old carp right there. That bass is okay. Look at there. See what swims and what doesn't. This bass is alive. Get on out there, swim. There you go. All right. We're done. Let's go back up and talk to... Oh! Let's go back up and we'll talk to Tommy and Steven and see what our plan is. I'm loving it. So we are done. This is Steven Bardin.
That's right.
Right. And the name of your company is?
Texas Pro Lake Management.
Okay. And his website and all that, not his phone number, but email will be linked in the description below. So just tell us what you think. What do you think? What did you see from September last year till November of this year?
Yep. Well, in July, we had historic rainfall. You had the fish kill. We've had several clients in this area that went through the exact same thing. So we did what we do. We go and we electrofish. And electrofish gives you a snapshot of what's in the fishery at that time. And it looks at all species and size class that are shallow enough to be caught with the electrofishing gear. You know, you and I had discussed, we really want to understand the genetics of the fish, because that tells us long term, do we have a population that's going to continue to grow beyond 10 pounds and get to that 12, 14, 15 pound range.
And the weight ratio to the length that we had it was actually looked good out of
it looked really good. So whenever we do random electrofishing, we do 1 hour. We try to hit every type of habitat. We're just collecting every fish we can. And over that time, we caught the 10-pound bass, we caught the 8-pound bass. We caught a lot of 16 and 17-inch bass that are 2.5 to 3 pounds. But every fish has a predicted weight based on its length. If it's under 100%, those fish are currently not capturing enough forage to weigh what they're supposed to weigh. You could recover from that. Like if we saw the entire population was below 100, then we could put enough food in and we can harvest enough bass out to make them recover. If they're above 100%, those fish are actively capturing enough forage to gain weight. So we look at that 10-pound fish, and that 10-pound fish is like 118%. That means she's not stopping growing. She's eating in excess. She's going to continue to grow. As long as that's happening, we're doing the right things for her. That means we're harvesting the right types of bass, crappie, other competitors, and we're providing her with the forage she needs. The lab will take us about 3 or 4 weeks to get the results back. And they'll send us the raw data, which neither one of us are going to understand. they'll color code it for us, and we'll be able to pick out the Floridas. But then they'll send us the graphs, and the graphs will show us the entire population is what percentage of Floridas across the entire population. Then it'll show us the individuals, and we match the vial number to the length that we saw in your bass. And so then we can divide this out into those 16 and 17-inch fish, those 18 plus inch fish that are 8 pounds, and then the ones that are sub 10 inches that were born this year. And we can look at each population of fish and see if their genetics are different. We expect them to all be the same, but if they're different, that would tell us that some individuals, for whatever reason, are able to spawn and survive better than others based on genetics. What I've told you initially is, I'm worried when you were catching 4 or 5 pound bass, every time you'd text me, I'd be like, I don't know, Mike, I don't know, this isn't great. Because we didn't know if we had the food chain.
Right.
We don't, until we electrofish, we don't know that we have a system that can sustain itself. You've got a good enough food chain right now to grow healthy 2 and 3 pound fish, have a couple of 10 pound, 8 pound fish. What we got to do is build in some layers of that food chain, so as those fish move up the system, we can grow a bigger group of fish to 8 and 10 pounds. And that 10 pound fish, we won't really know how old she is because that bone is behind her brain, and we don't want to pull it out, the otolith that tells
You can
us.
always guess, because I have aged fish before on my channel.
Okay.
Just with the scale, and you get a kind of a, like this 12 pound, 8 ounce was 5.5 years old.
Okay.
So it could be
So that's
7.
Yeah, so whenever a fish has scales, that have rings on them. You've shown this on
Yeah.
your channel. You're aging that individual scale. So if you do enough of them across the body, you get an average and you say 7, 5.5, 7. You know, a growth rate, that's a 12-pound fish. You know, if it's 5.5 years old, it's 2.25 pound growth rate a year. That's a pretty fast growth rate.
Yeah.
World record growth rates like 1.5 pounds for the world record fish is about 1.5 pounds a year. So growth rate doesn't have to be quick. Your fish are growing very fast right now.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily want that to happen long term though.
And you're going to give me a report in
Correct.
a week or a couple of weeks on forage and what we need
Yeah,
to
so
do
we'll
stocking wise.
We'll do forage before we get the genetic results back.
Okay.
Because forage has to happen so that we can build in a system that will continue to grow fish. We have 3-pound fish. We need to plan to grow those from 3 to 5, from 5 to 8, and 8 to 10. It's the 2 and 3s that I worry about. Because the 2 and 3s, what we didn't see is a lot of 3-inch bluegill, juvenile shad. We saw the golden shiners, but the golden shiners aren't really going to be enough to sustain that population. The 2 to 3 pound fish is where the majority of fish are in the lake. Whenever we look at their relative abundance, that's where the most fish are. And we don't have the forage to feed them to get them to 5 pounds.
So forage in the next couple of weeks or something like that, or
Yep, we're going to have to execute this fall.
Okay.
We'll be using copper-nosed bluegill sunfish, red ear sunfish, and then in the spring we'll use threadfin shad. You know, on the boat we harvested 4 fish today because they were under 100%.
Right.
Across the board, every lake we manage, we pull fish out that are under 100%, regardless of their length. You could argue that if you had a 28-inch bass, you want to put it back because you want its genetics, if you know what its genetics are. If we come back and we see that 10-pound fish is a pure Florida, I don't care how bad she gets. I want her in here because she's given us the right genetics.
Yeah. Okay. Man, I sure appreciate this.
Of course.
Tommy, thanks for joining.
Yep.
It's nice to meet you. Man, so when the very first fish we shocked up was the biggest one.
Yeah, we were just playing with our settings.
Yeah.
You know, I came
That's
inside.
crazy.
I came inside the bulrush, and I was kind of talking about the bulrush, and I just turned and saw 2 little stick-ups, and I thought, well, there's definitely a bass there. So I make a couple adjustments on my power because I'm still like the first 5 minutes of electrofishing. What I'm trying to do is catch a little fish because they have the least amount of muscle. So I know if I can shock that fish, I can shock any fish.
Yeah.
So I roll to those trees, down pedal, up comes a 10-pounder. And you kind of go, ooh, today's going to be special. If that would have happened the entire day, I don't know, that would have been an amazing turnaround.
Oh yeah, about 8, 9, and 10 pounders all day long. That was the
That's
way
the
it
goal,
was.
right?
That's the way it was about 2.5, 3 years ago.
Yeah. And we had to shock for 76 minutes today
I know.
to get 38 bass.
That's
and that
crazy.
shows you how many are in the population, right?
Yeah.
We have such a small population. And we had to go, after our 60 minutes, we had to go back out and do some targeted electrofishing. You had some great spots to go to. We drove right up and caught them. But that tells us how many fish are in the population in a roundabout way. Relatively, it's a much smaller population right now. Now we did, because we took fin clips on the fish and then released 34 of them.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's the genetic testing that we did.
So we did the fin clip. That's going to be the genetics that goes out. The fish that were released, what they're going to be missing is one of their left pelvic fins.
fins.
So when you catch a fish
All right,
over
you
the
told
next
me to do.
month, what I need you to do is write down every fish you catch.
Okay.
Just a total. And then when I see one that has a pelvic fin missing, make me another column for that. So I caught 30 fish this weekend and 3 were missing the pelvic fin. Then I can put it into a marked recapture formula and I can say, Mike, based on electrofishing and your recapture, here's how many fish are in the lake.
Cool. Oh, also the big one.
Yep, the 10
that
and
lip
the
ring?
8. Yep, we put a lip ring in them. So that lip ring, it's not going to prevent them from feeding at all. It's small, but it has a little barcode on it that tells us a number. 801 and 806 are your 2 fish. And whenever you catch them, you'll know from now on.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's going to be cool. That might be a put a bounty on those fish.
Right, and we can keep doing that. We can give you some of those rings as well, and you can.
Oh,
you can
two's,
start clipping
two's
them
fine. The two biggest ones. That's,
we'll see.
That'll be,
We'll see. I'm hoping that's not the biggest one.
I'm not either.
You know, you.
What's the chances that 10.62 pounds is the biggest one?
It would be pretty phenomenal if electrofishing caught the first fish that was the biggest fish in the lake. It's usually not. Electrofishing is not known for catching the biggest fish.
Yeah,
They're hard to catch, and they're so dense they usually sink.
Yeah, that's what Garrett said. So when do we need to do this again?
Well, we're going to stock the forage as soon as possible, as soon as we get that approved. Then we'll do the threadfin shad, and those will come in April. I do not like electrofishing frequently. They learn the boat, so you want to do it at least a gap enough to where they don't learn it.
Every year?
Yeah, every year.
Okay.
So what I typically tell people is whenever we make a change, so we stock threadfin next spring, probably need to shock next fall to see how the fishery responded to it. But I would like once a year in the fall, kind of checks, here's what recommendations we made, here's what the results were for the year. It allows us to just keep each other honest.
Okay. Well, great. Well, Steven.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, and thanks
Yes,
again,
sir.
Tommy. Hey, you guys, L&M Lake and Draw Treat, we're back. We started back.
Started back.
So give us about 3 to 5 years, and maybe we'll have multiple double digits, and then hopefully some of these 2 and 3 pounders, or in 4 or 5 years, are 10 and 11 pounds. So I knew I had to do this. I'm glad you came out and did it. His website will be on the description below, and email. So if any of you guys out there want your pond shocked or something like that in the Central Texas area, you just...
Yeah, mainly for Pro Lake, what we do is Central Texas.
Okay.
Tommy's based out of Abilene. I'm based out of Comanche. Keenan's based out of Stephenville. So we cover
cool.
a pretty good little area.
Central Texas.
Central Texas, we got you.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Well, everybody, there you have it. Electro-shocking for fish, big bass here at L&M Lake and Golf Retreat. Man, oh man, am I happy. Gosh, am I happy. Good news. Now, I hope I get that, when I get that genetic testing back, I'll let you know where we're at. I'm hoping that we're 90 to 95% Florida bass. And if we are, oh baby, we are back with a vengeance. And another thing that Steven just told me, he goes, if I were you, I would go fish that spot for the next couple of days, because when they get shocked, they get real hungry and they get aggressive and they want to feed. So this evening, I may see if I can go catch 801. 801, that's the old lip ring. The big 10.62 pounds has a lip ring. The number's 801. The 8-pounder has a lip ring, and it's 806. So I might make this a bounty fish. These two might be bounty fish. And I know Lojo is supposed to be here, and he's chomping at the bit. I know, he just texted me. So Lojo, you need to get out here, catch one of these bounty fish. How much am I gonna make it? $5? Tell you what, love you guys. God bless. And Laura and I have truly been God blessed. And we thank you so much for joining us on this video and subscribing to the channel. Love you guys. God bless. We'll talk to you later. Bye.